Hello, welcome to Embody. My name is Isabel and this is another class around the chakras, and today our class will be focused on the third eye chakra, Ajna, which in Sanskrit translates as beyond wisdom, perception and command. This is the sixth chakra, and this chakra is centered between the eyebrows and in the middle of the head, and is often related to the pineal gland and the pituitary gland, which generally have a lot of correlation with hormones. We're going to start today's class with a pranayama, a breathing practice. We've done it before in other classes together, Nadi Shodhana. So let's take our right hand and bring the first finger and the thumb together in Gyan Mudra. Gyan Mudra helps us to promote inner wisdom and clarity, so that will help us with our right hand. Sorry, this is our left hand. And with our right hand, we'll take our thumb to the right nostril, our fourth finger to the left side of the nostril, and I like to place my first two fingers between the eyebrows on the third eye point, and you can either tuck the little finger, the baby finger, into the palm of the hand, or you can keep it free if you prefer. So we're going to close the right nostril and breathe in through the left nostril, and then close the left nostril and breathe out through the right nostril. So we're breathing in through the right, closing the right and breathing out through the left. And again, breathe in through the left, close the left and breathe out through the right. So continuing this movement, breathing between the sides, what we're doing here is not only balancing the left and right hemispheres of the brain. As we take the air in through the left, it's balancing the right side of the brain. As we take the air in through the right, it's balancing the left side of the brain. But we're bringing our attention, just because we're placing our fingers there, to that position or that place or that location of the third eye, that space between the eyebrows. And maybe now you close your eyes and you take your gaze up to the space between the eyebrows to direct your focus, or in Sanskrit your drishti, up to that point. Let's take 10 more rounds of this breath, and if you wish, in between the two sides, you can hold both sides of the nose closed and pause for a moment to retain the breath. So you breathe in through right or left, you close the nostrils, hold for a moment, and then breathe out through the opposite side. Let's do a few more rounds together. Last 3 breaths. And then just releasing your right hand down, bringing thumb and first finger together. Both hands are now in Gyan Mudra. And just taking a few normal natural breaths. And I'm always surprised, I don't know why, because I've done it many times, but how effective this breath is. Just doing 10 or so breaths, I always feel more calm, letting go of wherever you were before and wherever you need to be after, so that for the next 15 or so minutes, you have your full presence, you and your presence. And with the eyes closed and the thumb and the first finger in Gyan Mudra, we'll start the class with sound, which is always a very good thing to begin with. So let's take a deep breath in to chant 3 Oms. Om. eyes. Have a wonderful practice, everyone. Sound is a really good way to bring the vibrational energy into yourself so that you can feel your vibration, your inner reverberance of all that you are. Let's start by opening the arms nice and wide. Draw the shoulder blades together behind the back and feel an openness and a space created in the front of your chest. And then let's take right arm under left arm and interlace the hands together. If that doesn't feel good, you can always bring your hands onto your shoulders. So as we inhale, we'll lift the shoulders away from the chest. And as we exhale, we'll just lower the elbows, not the shoulders. Yeah, the elbows too, elbows down. Inhale to lift the elbows up. And you'll feel it in the backs of the shoulders. And exhale to lower the elbows down. Last time, inhale, we lift the elbows up. And this time, let's fold forwards, keeping the knees on the mat. Maybe you're sitting on your knees in a kneeling position. Just take a forward fold with the arms bound, a deep breath in through the back of the body, and an exhale through the front of the body. Let's take one more breath here. And as we exhale, let's slowly rise and lift up, open the arms out wide, and let's cross the arms in the opposite way. So this time the left arm goes under the right, binding the arms. Inhale, we lift the elbows away from the chest, and exhale, we lower down. Inhale to lift, stretching the backs of the arms, the triceps. At least I'm really feeling my triceps, and exhale to lower. Last time, inhale to lift. And as we exhale, once again, forward fold over your legs. Again, breathing in through the back of your body. I always think of it like an accordion or a balloon. Imagine your torso is like a balloon and expand, almost like you're blowing air into the balloon. And then as you exhale, it's like you're letting the air go. Last deep breath in here. And slowly as we exhale, we release and we lift up. And I'll turn to the side so it's a little bit easier. You can stay sitting on your heels, or we find hero pose and we sit inside of the legs. If that's uncomfortable, do not do it and just stay sitting on your knees. That's right. Let's interlace the hands behind the back, draw the shoulders down the spine, and again we're going to fold forwards, lifting the arms up in the range of movement that feels good for you. So for some people, maybe your arms will be over your head. For others, maybe they'll be vertical to your shoulders. Just go with where feels good. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, and then slowly let's rise and lift back up. And now we're going to walk the hands back, maybe coming onto the forearms as a start. Maybe you choose to stay here and just take a few moments opening again up through the chest, or maybe if you prefer, you come all the way down towards the mat. And really notice here, because I do, how much your back is curving. Where does it feel like you're trying to hold onto the space? I can feel it in my ribs and in the front of my hips. So where can you feel like you're holding on to tension? And maybe you want to just take a few breaths and direct the energy of your breath into that space of tension. Nice, wherever you are, let's take a deep breath in. If you're on your forearms, take a deep breath in as well. And then if you're on your back, you can just prop yourself back up onto your forearms where we meet everyone else. And then we come back forwards and onto our hands and our knees. Let's take a few rounds of cat and cow. Breathing in to lift up through the chest and exhale to round through the spine. Again, belly drops down, lifting up through the chest. And exhale to round through the spine. And as we inhale here, we'll prepare for our downward facing dog and tuck the toes under, lift the hips high and find a downward facing dog. Pedaling out through your feet, spread your fingers nice and wide, lengthen the back of the heels so they're nice and long. Deep breath in and deep breath out. And we'll go through a few rounds of a little mini flow today to really bring our focus inwards, our attention to that inner eye, that third chakra, that Ajna. And maybe you twist like I'm doing all the way to one side to shorten one side of the body and lengthen the other, and then do the same on the other side. I always love the sensation of stretching or lengthening down one side of the body. I'd love to know if you like it too. Nice, and then from here, let's reach the right leg high to the sky. Draw the knee towards the nose and place the foot in between the hands. Pressing down through your feet, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. And then let's wrap the right arm underneath the left arm. Wrap the arms together and lift the elbows up. Deep breath in for one, and then exhale, draw the elbows down to the chest. Inhale, elbows lift up. And exhale, draw the elbows down. One more time, inhale. Lift the elbows up, then keep this bind with your arms. Come onto the toes of that left foot. Step forwards and wrap your left leg around your right leg. If you're struggling with your balance, don't worry, you can always keep your left toes on the mat and just sink your hips down. If you're wrapping the leg around or double wrapping the leg around, stay with your breath and keep your focus on a point in front of you. Elbows lift up and away from the chest, and maybe we sink down a little bit lower to nest our eagle. Let's take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. As we inhale, let's rise, lifting up, and then as we exhale, let's see if we can keep the left foot away from the floor. We extend the left leg back, keeping that eagle arm bind and finding a warrior three. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Belly buttons plugging in or drawing the belly button towards the spine. One more breath here. And then slowly step the left foot next to the right. Release the arms down, reach the arms up, find a chair pose, inner thigh squeeze. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, plant your hands and step back into a high plank. Squeeze your inner thighs together, take your gaze forwards, and for 5, we're going to lower for 4, for 3, for 2, and on 1, crocodile pose. Bring your forearms in front of you, your forehead down, and let your forehead rest on your hands, that point between the eyebrows. Almost give your forehead a little massage, that space, rolling the forehead from left to right. Nice, everyone. And then from here, let's reach the arms down and alongside the body, palms pressing into the floor. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, press the tops of the feet into the mat so you lift your kneecaps off the floor. Squeeze your glutes and then lift up through your chest. Locust pose. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Let's take another breath in. Maybe you hover your feet off the floor, your thighs and your knees off the floor, maybe even your hands. And then exhale to release. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes under, lift your knees off the floor, and then let's find our way back into our downward facing dog. Inhale, the left leg lifts nice and high. Exhale, look forwards between the hands and place your left foot in between your hands. Press through your feet, reach up through your fingers, find your high lunge, and then let's wrap the left arm underneath the right arm, finding that eagle bind. Inhale, we lift the elbows away from the chest, and exhale, we draw them close to us. Again, inhale, we lift the elbows up and away, and exhale, we draw them forwards or down. Last time, inhale, we lift them up, and as we exhale, come onto the toes of your right foot, lean forwards, and we bring the weight into the right foot, the left foot, sorry, and wrap the right leg around the left leg. Elbows lift up and away from the chest, and then we sink down into this eagle posture. Again, finding that focus, drishti on focus point. If you wobble like me, don't you worry. And breathe. Slowly let's rise and lift up, unraveling the right leg and sending it back, finding our warrior three. Extend your right toes back, belly buttons pulling in. Arms are wrapped and bound. Deep breath in and deep breath out. One more time, take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, place the right foot next to the left. Reach the hands down and up, chair pose. Inhale here for a breath, exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift, look forwards. And as you exhale, plant your hands and let's step back into our high plank. Once again, inner thighs squeeze, press the hands down, look forwards, and we lower for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Crocodile pose, hands come down. Release the forehead on the hands, massage that third eye point. Let the belly rest, let the back of the hips rest. Breathing in and breathing out. And then slowly let's once again release the hands by the sides of the body. Press the tops of the feet into the mat, lift the knees, squeeze the glutes, and then lift up through the chest. Maybe we lift the legs, maybe we lift the arms. Keep the elbows, keep the little fingers close to the sides of the body so that you really activate those latissimus dorsi muscles, those tricep muscles, rhomboids, everything in the back. Wherever you are, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, release. Tuck your toes, press into your hands and your knees, and we find our downward facing dog. Nice, and we do this sequence one more time. So right leg lifts, draw the knee towards the nose, and place the foot in between the hands. Inhale, we reach the arms up. Wrap the right arm underneath the left arm. Inhale, we lift the elbows up. And this time we go straight into that eagle pose. So we step forwards, wrapping the left leg around the right leg. Elbows lift up and away for the chest, from the chest on your inhale. And as we exhale, we draw the elbows in and sink down. Inhale, we lift and rise, unraveling that left leg and extending it back, warrior three, with arms in that eagle bind. Deep breath in here as we exhale, left foot next to right foot. Inhale, reach the arms up, chair pose, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, look forwards. Exhale, plant the hands and step back, find your high plank pose. Inner thighs squeeze, gazes forward, let's lower for 5, elbows bending back for 4, for 3, 2, and 1. I was a little bit fast. Let's bring the forehead to the hands. Crocodile pose, and this time let's add the legs. Windscreen wiping the knees, releasing the backs of the hips. Breathing in and breathing out. Again, using that proprioception, so using a surface into another surface, feeling our hands on our third eye to bring our attention to that area. Nice, let's release the feet down, press the tops of the toes down, reach the arms by the sides of the body, squeeze the shoulders, lift up through your chest, maybe lift the feet, maybe lift the arms, fingers, little fingers hugging the sides of the waist or the sides of the hips, and then exhale, release. Hands press down into the mat, tuck the toes, lift the hips high, downward facing dog. Our last side, inhale, left leg lifts, draw the knee to the nose, place the foot in between the hands. Inhale, rise, reach the arms up. As we exhale, left arm wraps underneath the right arm. Inhale, we reach the elbows away from the chest, and as we exhale, we step forwards, wrapping that right leg around the left leg. Wherever feels right for you. Maybe it's not a full bind, maybe it's a half bind. Inner thighs squeeze, gaze, wobble, gazes towards the center of the eyes, center of the eyebrows. Take a deep breath in, elbows lift away from the chest, and as we exhale, we unravel and extend that right leg back, warrior three. Deep breath in, left big toe pressing firmly into the mat for stability. And then slowly step the right foot next to the left. Inhale, we reach the arms up, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, look forwards. And then exhale, plant your hands, step back, find your high plank. And we slowly move for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Make a pillow with your hands. Forehead releases and relaxes into the mat. Nice. Reach the arms behind the back. Press the feet into the mat, lift the knees, and then we start to lift. And again, squeezing shoulders, pulling little fingers to the sides of the hips. As you exhale, release. Hands come by the sides of the body, and let's press back into a child's pose, bringing the forehead down, maybe fingertips pressing into the floor. Deep breath in and deep breath out. And then slowly walk your hands towards your knees, and let's come down to sit on our glutes. And reaching the arms forward, let's roll with control all the way down onto our backs. Bringing the hands alongside the body, or you might find you want to bring your hands underneath the back of the hips. Let's draw the knees into the chest, extend the legs up towards the ceiling, and then slowly start to roll the legs over and behind the head to find a plow pose. Closing down the eyes, maybe want to walk the elbows in and bring your hands behind your lower back. And then you might find that you want to extend your legs up towards the ceiling to find a shoulder stand, balancing the weight of the body above the head. Keep your gaze towards your toes. Nice, everybody. From here, you might want to bend the knees and hug your knees around your ears for ear pressure pose. Maybe taking the feet behind the head, maybe releasing the arms out in front of you, or keeping your hands as a proprioceptive tool or support behind your back. And then slowly from here with control, this is always the most important bit. Really finding that connection with the body as the spine returns to the mat. Nice and controlled. Let's do our counter pose, our fish pose. Propping yourself up on your elbows or forearms. Lengthen the toes forward and lift up through your chest, send your head and neck back. Opening up the space of the throat. The chin is directed towards the wall behind you. Maybe your head comes to the mat, and maybe it doesn't. All is well. And then slowly let's come all the way down onto our backs, and hopefully you're not too far away from a wall. We're going to come all the way up close to a wall, sliding the legs up the wall to find legs up the wall posture. It's such a good pose to release inflammation, to allow a restorative practice or position for the body to be in. So I invite you all to find legs up the wall. Try to come in from the side as I did. You can open your arms out nice and wide and close down your eyes. And we'll do an affirmation practice. So as you close your eyes, start to connect with your breath. And this is almost like a shavasana with affirmation, allowing the blood to flow down towards your heart. I will say an affirmation and then you can just repeat it inside your mind, or resonates most with you. I am present. I see clearly. I am connected. My thoughts are clear. I have clarity. I trust myself. My thoughts, words, and actions are in alignment. Allowing yourself to stay here as long as feels good for you. If you wish to stay longer, please do. But otherwise, if you're ready to come out with me, just bend your knees and roll over to one side so that then you can easily prop yourself up and come back to where we began, in the center of our mats. And I really hope that this class brought you a sense of connection with your innermost self, maybe a sense of clarity and inner peace. Let's close our class today by bringing the hands together and chanting a Sat Nam, which means truth is my name. Inhaling together. Sat Nam. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I really hope you enjoyed the class. Please feel free to like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you again on the mat soon.